Hello, everyone. Um, I want to go over with you something that my wife and I we've been studying out of Exodus. Now we're now into Leviticus, and we are now in chapter one, Leviticus chapter one actually. And I want to read to you the verse, the chapter. Then I want to elaborate, and we can go on and we can gain some understanding as we read. Verse 1. The Lord called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting. He said, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when anyone among you brings an offering to the Lord, bring as your offering an animal from either the herd or the flock. If the offering is a burnt offering from the herd, you are to offer a male without defect. You must present it at the entrance to the tent of meeting so that it will be acceptable to the Lord. You are to lay your hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it will be accepted on your behalf to make atonement for you. You are to slaughter the young bull before the Lord, and then Aaron's sons, the priest, shall bring the blood and splash it against the side of the altar at the entrance to the tent of meeting." You go on to verse 6, but I want to stop there, and I want to just bring to your attention, bring to your understanding as I'm now understanding what all this means. First, let's break down the difference between the herd and the flock. It says, when anyone among you brings an offering to the Lord, bring as your offering an animal from either the herd or the flock. Now, the difference between the herd or the flock and the flock, the herd represented the larger animals like the bull, the ox, the larger scale. Now, the flock represent the sheep, the goats, the lambs, those type of things. Even birds were considered flocks. And the thing that you were to offer up, one of those from your herd because of sin that you committed. Now, I asked myself so many years ago, why would God desire for them to destroy, to kill their animals? Now, it makes a lot of sense, actually, now. When you take something that you invested so much time and energy in, and now you're having to sacrifice to get rid of, or to kill it, where you could use this particular animal to increase your herd, and by having to sacrifice a male, without the male, that you can't produce. You need the male to produce. And so here you take the male bull of the herd and you offer him up to the Lord as a offering, where you have to kill this innocent animal. And so it's like the old saying, I'm going to hit you in the pocket where it hurts. Yeah, I'm going to hit you where it hurts. Your investment, Yeah, you're the one who committed the sin. You're the one that committed the sin. Yeah, but I'm not going to punish you. I'm going to really punish you more so by hitting you in the pocket. I'm going to take something from you that you've been working so hard to keep, and it's going to hurt. So here it says in the offering, verse 3, in the offering, if the offering is a burnt offering from the herd, you are to offer a male without defect, meaning you couldn't just go get any of the male bulls in your herd. If he's limping, you can't use him. Quite naturally, you say, well, he's limping, he has a birth defect. Yeah, I can get rid of that one. No, you had to use one that had no defects, one that had great value, that was very valuable to you. So that was the one you had to choose. And by doing such, choosing that particular animal, you having to choose something that, like I said before, is going to hit you in the pocket. Now also, verse 3, you must present it at the entrance to the tent of the meeting so that it will be acceptable to the Lord. So before you can do anything, we gotta look this thing over. We gotta check it out. We gotta make sure this thing ain't limping. We gotta make sure it don't have 5 legs. We gotta make sure that it has both eyes, and we can't have anything. So you couldn't just bring anything. Like, nah, go get the best one. So you had to bring your best. And then you go to verse 4. You are to lay your hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it will be accepted on your behalf to make atonement for you. So quite naturally, you lay your hand on the head of this animal, and by laying your hand on his head, you are now transferring your transgressions to this innocent animal. You are laying your hand as you are transferring your guilt to this innocent animal as a sacrifice to atone your sin that you committed. So there you have it. I hope you understood. I'm still learning. I'm still gaining knowledge. And I hope you will take time and go over this particular chapter yourself, and you can read and you can share it within your circle or your family and whatever. But shalom, shalom. Peace.